groups for the 2021-2022 Europa League campaign, but who do you think is actually going to make it through to the knockout stages? We're going to those picks coming at ya next. Right, folks, back once again on a prediction video. Today we're taking a look at my early door predictions for the Europa League, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, wait a minute, smash your subscribe to keep you bang up to date with all things Europa League related, Blackburn Rovers related, well, football related. We're going to know here under one Ruski. That's right, boys and girls. Over the next few days, we're going to predict each and every one of the groups for the Europa League to see who I think will go through to the knockout stages and who I think will tumble into the Europa Conference, and of course out of Europe completely. We'll have a look at that in just a second. Of course, a big shout out to the VIPs. They are the Patreons. I do appreciate your love and thank you for your support. And if you want to support the channel in another way, check out those links, patreon.com/Roverseas. But anyway, let's jump in the deep end then, shall we? Of course, take a little look at what we're talking about. Alrighty then, boys and girls, let's jump in the deep end and have a little look at what we're talking about here. Of course, now, before we jump in the deep end and have a little look at that, I want to let you know that we're doing something a little bit interactive here for you guys to get involved with yourself. If you want to go and predict your own version of events for these respective groups, use this code. It is free to enter, Cutley/EuroGRP. That's right, of course. You go in there, you pick your first, pick your second, pick your third, pick your fourth for each and every one of the groups and press submit, and then you'll enter into a free competition, and of course we'll get to compare the results at the end of the group stages. So make sure you check that out, of course, so I can see what you think will happen in the group stages in the Europa League. Alright, let's take a little look at Group A then, shall we? Of course, we've got the likes of Brøndby coming at you from Denmark. Of course, we've got Sparta Prague from the Czech Republic. Rangers are up there from Scotland. Olympique Lyon as well from France. They're not the French champions, but of course, they're going to be a difficult team to avoid, and probably your favourites for this group. So we're going to start off with match number 1 over in Denmark. Of course, on the 16th of September, it'll be Brøndby up against Sparta Prague. You got to win your home, get something away, and of course, you're in tip-top shape. So Brøndby will open up with a 2-1 win at home. To give themselves an opening, a good old chance to maybe be the dark horse for this group, to maybe squeak in at second place, maybe. Meanwhile, of course, battle of the big boys, you would think Rangers against Lyon, of course, battle for supremacy on this. I think Rangers will get a point out of this one. Of course, they're not been the defiant Rangers of old. They're still decent, they're still difficult to beat, but of course, recently they've had a couple of little hiccups along the way. But 2-2 draw, advantage Lyon, you would think. And Lyon, though, will take on Brøndby. Of course, so far so good for them. Over in France on match day number 2, 30th of September. In Lyon. I think Lyon will get their first win of the campaign to make it back-to-back games without a loss. Brøndby crashing back down to earth. Next up, of course, Lyon taking, of course, Brøndby over in La France. Of course, Lyon's kicked off with, of course, that draw against Rangers. Brøndby kicked off with that win against Sparta Prague. This is taking place over in France. Of course, Lyon will be the big boys, the team to stop on this one. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Lyon to make it back-to-back games unbeaten. Of course, Brøndby unbeaten at home, of course, and of course, they'll need to keep that going. Meanwhile, Sparta Prague take on Rangers, of course, over in the Czech Republic. This game also takes place on the 30th of September, and of course Sparta Prague yet to get going. Rangers have a bit of a hiccup as well. Difficult game to go to as well for Rangers on this one. I think they might even lose. That's right, 2-1 win for Sparta Prague to get themselves back in the driving seat. Of course, Rangers got it all to do as we get close to the halfway mark. And speaking of halfway mark, they'll take on Brøndby on match number 3 for them. Of course, unbeaten at home, but yet to get going with a win. Of course, Brøndby have opened up their account with a win against Sparta Prague, of course, but they did lose to Lyon last time on the road. Of course, this time around, though, they'll lose this one as well. Back-to-back defeats for Brøndby. Rangers right back in the thick of things after, of course, a win on the 21st of October. So match day. So they come into the halfway stage, 4 points out of a possible 9. Sparta Prague, though, of course, picked up a win last round. They take on Lyon over into Czech Republic, and they go in the driving seat now. Back-to-back wins for Sparta Prague over in, of course, the Czech Republic as well. Lyon not really getting going on the road, of course. But at the halfway stage, Lyon and Brøndby, of course, maybe have a slight little bit of advantage because they played 2 of their 3 games on the road. Let's get into the second half of the campaign then, shall we? Of course, match day number 4 is Brøndby against Rangers. Of course, last time around, Rangers picked up a win over at Ibrox. This time around, they go to Denmark and they pick up a point on this one, which, of course, is a massive point on the grand scheme of things. Of course, it's two games unbeaten now for Rangers, and of course, the next game is up against Prague over in Scotland, with a good chance for them to maybe secure at least top 2 for them. Lyon take on Sparta Prague, of course, hoping to get a bit of revenge on the Czech boys, and they'll do that 3-1 win in the end. That's, of of course, on November the 4th. That's right, of course. So Lyon, home back-to-back home wins for them, of course. Sparta Prague taking a bit of a bigger L on this one. Into match number 5, we go Brøndby up against Lyon over in the Danes, of course. Brøndby unbeaten at home, picking up a win and a draw so far. Yet to get going on the road, of course. They'll pick up a loss here. Lyon will be right back in the command here and probably will fancy their chances to win the group outright. For them, that's 2 wins on the road. Of course, they did lose to Sparta Prague in Prague a couple of games back. Rangers, though, will hope to get a result against Sparta Prague, which I see, in my eyes, a 2-1 win for Rangers on the 25th of November, or to put them right back in command as well for a chance. Unbeaten at home as well, back-to-back wins for Rangers. I'll leave it all to do on the final day, of course, heading into match number 6. These games take place on the 9th of September. Of course, Prague will host Brøndby. Of course, Prague's home form has been pretty good. Back-to-back wins for them. On the road, though, for Sparta Prague, not much. They got 0 on the road on this one. Of course, if Brøndby win this one, of course, they have an outside sniff of maybe Europa League conference, but of course I think Rangers and Lyon have it all to do at the top of the table, but of course we'll confirm that in a second. So Sparta Prague will beat Brøndby, of course make it 3 wins out of 3 for them on the road. Of course their away day form is where it all lets himself down with nothing to get excited about. As for the final game between Lyon and Rangers, though, it actually might not be as clear cut as you think. Of course Lyon will probably win this one 3-2 in the end, 5-goal thriller to a bit of a guessing game as he will come through as second place between Rangers and Sparta Prague. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Of course those games take place on the 9th of September, so here we go. Reveal it in reverse order. In 4th spot is Brøndby with 4 points. They tumble out at this stage. Of course, in 3rd it is Rangers. I was thinking about that. I was thinking they drew with who did they draw with at home? Is Lyon. That's where it all kind of fell short for them. So they'll tumble into the Conference League with 8 points. Sparta Prague have 9 points. Look at that. They actually lost more than Rangers. It's their home form that gets them through. And Olympic Lyon go through 13 points out of possible 18, also with a defeat on their resume as well. So it's not easy, this one. Of course, let me know your thoughts and opinions, of course, down below. Get your predictions in using the Savvy code. But until then, let's keep on keeping on. And there you have it, folks, boys and girls, and there you have it. Of course, make sure you get your predictions in right here using the link, cut.e/EuroGREP. Of course, that link will also be in the old description down below. But of course, that is it. Be sure to give the video some love and smash the old thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Check out those links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course, Patreon if you want to support the channel in another way. That's the best place to do. Or, of course, cover Europa League from the first kickoff all the way through to the final whistle throughout the course of the season. But of course, make sure you check out the Discord. It's wide open. And of course, enjoy yourself over the next few days. Of course, we'll be back with match number 1 very, very soon. But until then, give the video some love. I'll see you soon. Smash the subscribe. Until then, we're done.